It's the Soul Fantasy Show, Soul Fan Show. Hey, it's the Soul Fantasy Show live for July 11th, 2021. Going over the top picks, plays, and studs for Draftkings and Fanduel. If you already haven't, please subscribe to this channel. Right on top for $11,800 strong. We got the Greek Freak. He had 72 fantasy points last game. He's 100 on the draft dashboard. 100. He's getting 1.66 fantasy points a minute. He's projected 55 and up, but he is 11,800, and he is 55 on Yahoo, and on FanDuel he is 16,000. So he's going to be the top dollar for you today because he's the sole stud of the day. He's at home. I think there should be a win. The Bucks need a win bad. They're going to have to play desperate. Greek Freak had 20 points in the third quarter last game. He's going to have to play hard. He has a crown today. And next up, we have Devin Booker. He is 78, 1.14 fantasy points per minute. He had 48 fantasy points. He did you well. Chris Paul is a little bit cheaper, and he had 41. So Devin Booker's been banging out threes. He's hitting all his shots, making most of his shots. He's projected 45 fantasy points around there. He should be able to get that easily for you. So he's the secondary stud of the day. Now, when we look down, we have Chris Paul. He is 9,800. Now, he had 41 fantasy points, 54. He is getting 1.25 fantasy points per minute. So he's 9,800. Cameron Johnson is 4,600. He's somebody you can throw in for value. Middleton struggled. If you had him in your lineup, you probably lost that lineup yesterday. That doesn't mean that's going to happen today, but with Greek Freak going crazy, Middleton, he seems to be struggling. He's struggling. He only had the first two games, 34 and 44. He's supposed to get 46. He's 9,600. Let me just show you real quick the ownership for DraftKings and FanDuel. Torrey Craig is out, so he's not going to be one of your values. Now, 80% owned Giannis Antetokounmpo is 80% owned. Next up, right under him, is Middleton. So people have faith in Middleton. He is very expensive, though. Drew Holiday, 56% owned. Chris Paul is 52% owned. Connington, he's high owned. He's the value that is winning money in lineups. Crowder is 46% owned, but he paid off last game because he hit 3 3-pointers right off the bat. So that's why he paid off. He was hitting threes. Is he going to hit threes again? No, he's not. Now, somebody who is on fire and is low owned is Mikal Bridges. Mikal Bridges, 31% owned. He was in the winning lineups last game. Will he be in there? Possibly. He could. Now you have Jeff Teague, he's only 1,600. He's 26% owned. Booker, 40%. Ayton is 45%. Brook Lopez, 23%. Torrey Craig, he has ownership, but he's out. PJ Tucker, and I like Cameron Johnson's low ownership. He's high up on the draft dashboard. And here's the rest. Even Frank has 7% ownership. Some people are playing him. They're even playing Forbes. That's this ownership. Now, I don't think this is right. It says Giannis is 101% owned. 101% owned on FanDuel. Even the computer lineups that are just for display purposes got him in it. 101%. I don't know how does it go over 100? I don't know. Drew Holiday is 54%. Mikal Bridges 52%. Middleton 44%. Crowder 38%. Covington still high owned at 37%. PJ Tucker 34%. Booker's only 30% owned. So that shows you he's going to be a good play on FanDuel. He's low owned. So is Chris Paul. Those two together could be the ones scoring the most points. Okay, so that's the ownership. All right, so here is the rest of the top players. So we went over them. Middleton, he was very bad. Ayton, he is 9,000 on DraftKings. 41, 49, 43. Chris Paul, 9,800. Drew Holiday's only 8,800. So he's getting the same output as Chris Paul. So you can save salary if you don't want to play Paul, but we said the low ownership with Booker and Paul might work out for you. If Greek Freak just takes over and is 100% owned, you're probably going to have him in there. He was in all the winning. He's been in the winning lineups, and he's the sole stud of the day. But Devin Booker might be on the cover because we like Devin Booker. Jeff Teague is only 1,800. I don't know why he's so high owned. He isn't getting anywhere. The first two games he had 4 and 6 fantasy points. Frank didn't have any fantasy points. He's getting in. He got in the game, but he didn't score, he didn't steal, he didn't rebound. Mikal Bridges way down there, 55. He's 7,200. 40, 20. He had 40 and a 20 in this series. 40, if you get 40 out of him, you're doing pretty great with him in there. Now, Jay Crowder is cheaper, though. And Brook Lopez is pretty cheap. They're cheaper than Bridges. So Bridges was 6,000, but he's been priced right up because he's not in the team. The first game he only scored 20 fantasy points. He got more minutes, and because he was doing good, he kept scoring. He kept shooting and scoring. He was doing really good. He had a great game. Covington, 3,800, 25. He is a sole sleeper of the day. Pat Covington. Lopez, the mid-range play of the day. Mid-range. So for FanDuel, we got Greek and Booker on top. Booker and Paul is even 1,000 more than Booker. Ayton is right under there at 13. Then under him is Drew Holiday. And somebody who's pretty expensive. He's cheaper than Booker is Middleton. But so Booker is the most expensive. Now here, I'll show you the prices. This is a nice lineup for Yahoo Fantasy. But I will show you these prices. Okay. So right on top we have the Greek Freakies, $55. Then you have Middleton, $37. So Booker and Paul have been priced the same at $34. Holiday is $32. Ayton is $30. Brook Lopez is $21. Then you have Bridges, Crowder, Payne. You have Nader down there. Nader didn't have any fantasy points, so I'm probably not going to play him. Tucker he's getting in the teens, and he's been seen in top lineups. So if you can push over to that 20, that might be good for you for $11. But you have Covington, he had 21 on Yahoo, getting a lot of minutes. 14.7 rebounds and an assist. That's what Covington did for you. Lopez had 8 points, 9 rebounds, 2 blocks. So he gets the blocks, and that'll add to his fantasy points. Let's first off go to the cheat sheet. Here's the daily pro picks. Drew Holiday, Giannis, Middleton, then Lopez, Paul, Tucker, Booker, Ayton, and then Bridges. Those are the pro picks. Now let's see the cheat sheet. Here's the cheat sheet. The top studs of the day for FanDuel. Greek Freak, Paul, Booker, Middleton, Ayton, Holiday, Lopez, Bridges, Tucker. For DraftKings, 80% owned Greek Freak on top, then Middleton for DraftKings. He's the second highest owned. Then you have Paul and Holiday, And the lower owned Booker at $9,600, $200 less than Paul. They're basically the same price. Booker and Paul have been priced exactly the same because they're both doing their things. You got Ayton at 45% owned. He's $8,400. All right, the mid-range plays of the day are Brook Lopez and Bridges, and P.J. Tucker is the value. P.J. Tucker is the mid-range on FanDuel. Here's the sleepers and studs, and then we'll do perfect lineups. Here's the studs for FanDuel. Greek Freak, Paul, Booker, Middleton, Ayton, then Holiday. Here's the studs for DraftKings. Greek Freak, Paul, Booker, Holiday, and then Ayton. Here's the sleepers for DraftKings. Kel Bridges, Jay Crowder, Covington, and Tucker. Bridges and Tucker have the crowns. Those are the sleepers and studs. Here are some perfect lineups Here's perfect lineups for DraftKings. Greek, Paul, Crowder, Payne, Holiday, Forbes. Greek, Brook Lopez, Paul, Payne, Johnson, Crowder, and Giannis, Crowder, Holiday, Payne, and Middleton. Here's some DraftKings perfect lineups. Booker and Paul in the first one, Booker and Greek in the second one, Booker and Greek again, and this time Ayton, Greek, and Holiday, Crowder and Payne. That's a pretty nice lineup. Payne's the only one you have to worry about there. Those are the perfect lineup. Okay. Here's some projectors. All right, those are the perfect lineups. So we have here's the minute monsters. These are the minute monsters. Guys getting the most minutes. Remember, Craig is supposedly out. I'm pretty sure he's out. So he might not be a good... Here's the point production. Alright, that's it. So let's go to the lineup optimizer, and then we'll get you on the Yahoo, your lineups. You could go Ayton, you could go Middleton, you can go Booker. If we go Paul and Booker, you have money left over. You can get Middleton in there too. But you're fading the Greek Freak out. That's not going to work. It's not going to work. But he's probably going to work out in the captain spot. Middleton is cheaper than Booker. Portis is there. He's only 1% owned. He's too low owned to play. Cameron Johnson, 18% owned. I'd rather put somebody in 18%. I'm going to look at ownership today. So you have to go by ownership. So these are good ownerships. But you can put Bridges in there. He's 31% owned. Covington, Greek. Somehow. We have Booker. Okay, Booker, Lopez, Crowder, Johnson, or Portis is only 1% owned. Payne is 8% owned. So for this lineup, I would leave Johnson in there. All right. We'll get to your Yahoo lineups. Booker and Greek Freak. Paul, Drew, Bridges, Tucker, and Giannis. The Greek Freak's 101% owned. He's even in simulated lineups. He's in every lineup, every single one, and extra ones that they invented. 101% owned. That can't be right. Think more about 80% ownership. With him, he's not going to be in every lineup, but he's going to be in 80% of the lineups, and he's been in the winning lineups. He has been in the winning lineups. 80% owned at least. So, if there's 1,000 lineups, he's in 800 of them. But for FanDuel, if there's 1,000 lineups, he's in 1,010 of them somehow. 1,100. 101% owned. He's in all 1,000 of them, even the dummy lineups that they made. All right, here is... Ooh. Let's go here. So we're going to have to go here. Switch these guys around. One like that. He doesn't have to be in. He's probably going to be the mega star. Greek. He's 55. So, you can see salary like this. Then you have 22. You can go Lopez. That's only one son, though. That's only one son. Just so you know, let's try that again with more sons in there. So if we go this son, and there you have 35. You can go Booker or Devin. There we go. Now you have 3 and 2. Okay. Let's go. Let's try Middleton. No, you can't play him as the captain. Say Greek has an off night. Booker, Middleton, Paul. Okay. Now you have 22 on average. You can get these two guys in. Boom. Bang. Okay. So say you want to think Paul's going to just bang all these shots out. Drew Holiday is. And then I can't trust Middleton too much. But if I throw Middleton in, I can still get Middleton and Crowder in there like this. You can do some pretty nice lineups without the Greek Freak. But if he goes off, all those lineups are done. So let's try to find ways to get him in there. So Paul, Lopez, Bridges, Crowder. We'll go like that. Okay, Greek, Ayton, Booker. You can go Covington there. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, and we got, sorry about that. Hey, Greek. Yeah. Paul. Lopez. Put the 7% guy in. You have to do some craziness sometimes. Let's try Middleton.